Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse postgame live, a special Friday night edition. That's right. I'm doing this because I am very, very happy. I'm very happy about what's happening with the Knicks, and I wanted to come out and celebrate this with you guys in the chat. Hopefully we'll get a good group showing up. I don't usually go live for the postgame, so we'll see what kind of group turns up. I hope we get a nice turnout. Again, my name is George. Welcome into the Knicks-Verse. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button for me. If you enjoyed the video, I definitely appreciate that. And if you're watching this on replay, definitely drop your comments. I read them all, and they really help me understand where you guys are thinking, where you guys are coming from. And if I've missed anything, overlooked anything, I really appreciate when you guys shout that out. All right, let's get this show on the road. I see Kaiser Soze 718 is in the house. Welcome, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Well, let's go. Here it is. Knicks hang on. They hang on, but it wasn't like a nail-biter hang on. It wasn't like the previous game. This was a legit game that they won. They came out in that second half and took control of the game. And, the Wizards are playing at home. They have talented players, so they weren't going to just let the Knicks walk all over them. And they came back. They made a nice little run at the end of the fourth quarter. But the Knicks held on for a 112-108 victory. And mostly it's due to two players. Well, Randall played very well. Don't want to shortchange the guy. He had a kind of, you'd say, very well might be a little loose on the description of it. He had a productive game in the end, even though he started off kind of rocky. He was kind of uneven, but he finished 8 of 19 for 23 points, but he got 16 monster rebounds. 16 rebounds for the big guy, Julius Randle, going up against Kristaps Porzingis. Who came out with a very interesting interview today on NBA.com, which you guys should all check it out. What's up, Johnny Davis, Kaiser, shout out already, Pack-a-Punch, Taka Otsu, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Much respect, brother. Good to see you, man. Craig, welcome. Randall was ducking that smoke with Kuzma. Well, yeah, Kuzma was given to him. Kuzma's been playing well of late. This whole season, he's been playing well. It's his final year, I think, of his contract, so he's playing for that contract. You know how guys are like that. It's just human nature. He's an interesting player, Kuzma. Not sure. Well, we'll get to all of that. But the main reason the Knicks won this game, there he is, Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson tonight had another 30-point game. He scored 34 points, got even 8 rebounds, 8 assists. He shot 50% from the field, 12 of 24, 3 of 6 from the three-point line, played 40 minutes. The guy was a beast. I think he played for an entire 17-minute stretch at one point there in that second half. Outstanding play for him in the second half. He got off to a rocky start in the first quarter, but luckily, Immanuel Quickley came in. When he came into the game, he completely sparked the team. The team looked kind of like they were in a haze. They were sputtering. They didn't really understand. It was like they didn't remember who they were. They were playing without any real fire, any real urgency. And the second Immanuel Quickley checks into the game, he gets a rebound, turns it into a fast break, and delivers for a bucket. And I think he even got the and one. All that within the first 3 seconds that he got subbed into this game. And from that moment forward, the Knicks were energized. Now, the Wizards kept kind of hanging around. The Knicks didn't even win a quarter until the third. They lost the first 2 quarters of this game, 21-19 in the first quarter, and they lost the second quarter 32-31. But they won the third quarter 30-23. And we finished with the most points scored for the Knicks tonight in a quarter with 32 in the fourth quarter. But the Wizards also scored 32. So shout out to them. I like this Wizards team. I got to say, I like them. I feel like what's their record? 18-25. They're missing Bradley Beal. They're inconsistent. But there's something about this team that I feel like if they got an ingredient or two, it could really change this franchise. Hey, I see D Nice is in the house. Great to see you, brother. Angel Torres. All right, Stephen Fox. What's up, brother? Foxy, I wanted him to join me tonight, but he's taking it easy. He's nursing a bruised rib or a broken rib. I hope you feel better, brother. Hope you feel better. Appreciate you coming on for that pregame show earlier, and we'll be doing those the draft videos, the draft preview videos pretty soon. Salute, guys. It's nice to be out here talking about a Knicks win, like a nice win, because this could have been one of those games where the Knicks just suddenly collapsed, and they could have been that team that wasn't able to find that ingredient that could propel them to taking the lead of this game. They seemed to be teetering for a while. And Fox and I were texting each other at halftime, wondering like what kind of team is going to come out in the second half. And I really felt like the team we were going to have a nice turnout in that second half, and we did. So luckily we did. But again, the Wizards just would not go away. They have a lot of length. They have that Denny Avdia, Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis. Who else do they have? They have guys with length all up and down the lineup. Who else do they have? They got who's the other guy? Kispert, also Gafford, and Taj. Boy, there was a moment there where Hartenstein got a pass. I think it was from Brunson or IQ. Nice bounce pass on a pick and roll. He rolled. Nice bounce pass to him, and the guy covering him was Taj, and Isaiah made the layup and got the foul call. And it was interesting to see the guy he replaced was the guy that was covering him. And I'm sure Thibs was probably conflicted at that moment, Taj being his favorite player, or definitely one of them. His real favorite player is sitting on the bench still for us Knicks, Derrick Rose, who I wonder what's going to happen with him. I wonder what his future is going to be. We're going to have to get into that pretty soon. Resi Rolex, what's up? Adele Chapman, good to see you. All right, we got a nice little turnout here. Awesome. If you guys haven't hit the thumbs up button for me, that'd be great. All right, let's see. Let's keep going with this thing. Look at this. Look what Jalen Brunson's been doing his last 5 games. He's averaging 35.2 points per game, 6 boards, 6 assists on 53% field goal shooting. The guy has been a beast. He's been a beast all season, and now he's getting even better. And I'll tell you, I think the elevated play of Immanuel Quickley, I think Brunson has made a positive impact on Quickley, but I think the reverse is now starting to happen as well. Quickley's making Brunson's life easier as well, because he got another playmaker out there, another ball handler. And his energy is infectious, and his defense, has been tremendous. So he helps make Brunson's life easier, and then Brunson's able to thrive even more so. It's a beautiful thing that's happening here. We actually have basically, I would say, 6 starters at the moment, now that RJ has returned. And the way that Thibs is handling them, I must shout that out. I think he's handling it well. He's taking RJ out early. He's the first guy who gets subbed out in that first quarter, because he's going to be the anchor of that bench unit when he comes back in. Because the bench unit has been struggling for the Knicks. They struggled again tonight. They delivered only, let's see, well, if you take away IQ's 18 points, the only one who scored tonight other than IQ from the bench was Isaiah Hartenstein. He scored 8 points. Who, by the way, I think he had one of the nicest stretch of minutes that we've seen in a long time for him. 19 minutes for iHeart, 3 of 6 overall, 8 points, 7 boards, no assists, but he played some decent defense. He didn't look as lost tonight as he usually does. Those hands of his weren't as slippery as they have been in the past. So I'm hoping that this is like another game that kind of helps him turn the corner, because we need Isaiah Hartenstein. We need him to play. We need him to ball out. We need him for us to be able to, because right now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm really looking towards the playoffs now. The Knicks are a bona fide Eastern Conference playoff team. We're not a play-in. We're not hoping for a play-in. We are a playoff team. Now, whether they're gonna do it and deliver on it, We're going to see whether they can do it in the next 39 games. We're going to see. But at the moment, after 43 games played, the Knicks are 24-19, and they are firmly in sixth place. Let's see if we moved up a little bit, because I think no, we're still in sixth place, but we're a full 1 game ahead of Indiana and just 2 games behind the Sixers and 3 games behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. Imagine that. We are only 3 games behind the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, that was my concern about making that trade for him, because we unlike the Cavaliers, who had a plethora of quality players on their roster that they could trade and flip, the Knicks, we did not. I mean, we did. Let me rephrase that. I believe we did, but the perception around the league is that we didn't, because of the way, Mr. Comeover had handled them last season. Limiting them, not showing confidence in them. So then other teams are like, well, if their own coach doesn't show confidence in them, how are we supposed to value them? So, but now things have changed dramatically, and the New York Knicks are just 3 games behind the Cleveland Cavaliers, who, but at this point, we wouldn't play them in the first round. We'd play the Milwaukee Bucks, and we continue to play the Bucks well. Hopefully, the Knicks, the front office, Leon, will make a trade during this period of time before the trade deadline that will help address our need for a size that can score. We need some size that can score. Obviously, defend. That's a given. It's a given. But we need something, some kind of length that can score, that we can put them out there and deal when we're playing against teams with a lot of size all the way around, like the Bucks. Actually, the Wizards are similar. They have size themselves. So hopefully the front office is looking at, and I gotta say, it feels like they're going to do something like that. We don't just need a scorer. We just don't need a 3-point shooter. Of course, a 3-point shooter would be fabulous. To get, but we need a little more than that. So maybe we get 2 pieces. We'll see. We know Obi's been discussed. We know Cam is definitely on his way out. And we know Fournier is most likely on his, or at least he's a tradable asset who has value. So we'll see. I mean, I definitely don't want to sell Fournier on the cheap, because we can also trade him in the off season, and so we can hold on to him. And also, he gives us a 3-point shooting. So at some point we might desperately need that. All right, we're taking a break here. Shout out to the chat. Let's see what's going on here. We got, hey, buzzer beaters in the house. What's up? Said countless times that we're going to be the 5th seed. Yes, I think. If you watched my preseason prediction video, I said that we would win 47 games, which technically would be good enough for the 5th seed. So let's hope we're back on track for that. We lost that Bucks game, but we're back on track. We're now 24-19. I can't believe we won almost 56% of our games this season. I'm proud of this team. And I'm going to get, before I move forward, let me go through the stats, and then I'm going to talk about something at the end, a tweet that I put out yesterday or the day before. That's kind of blown up on Twitter. Let's see here. So let's see. Randall, nice 23 points. I told you, 16 monster boards. Mitch fouled out, but he got 10 boards before that. He was definitely a factor defensively in that first half, and in that early in that third quarter, when the Knicks, we took control of the game in those first about 6 or 7 minutes of the third quarter. We took control of the game, and we made the Wizards struggle, and a lot of that was because of Mitch. But Brunson, look at that, 40 minutes, 12 of 24. Wow, outstanding. 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 34 points. Beautiful. RJ Barrett, second game back from his 15-game layoff. He scored 27 the other night. Tonight, he comes through with 17. Beautiful. 7 of 13. He hit 1 of 3 from the 3-point line. 5 rebounds. He had 1 dime. Beautiful dime. Oh. He didn't get credit for this. This wasn't a dime for RJ. But let's show this. This was the best play of the night. This might be my favorite play. Well, one of my favorite plays of the season. Here we go. Look at this. RJ takes it out. Look at that. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And that's what I was talking about when we took control of the game. 89-79. That was in the fourth quarter at that point. Look at that. RJ to a cutting Immanuel Quickley, who he beautifully finds Hartenstein diving to the basket. This is worth, like, I mean, I can watch this all night long. That type of play would score on any team. There's not a defense out there that can stop that kind of ball movement and that kind of play. It saddens me that we still collapse. We still default back to the ISO play as the quarter wears down. I hope that in the next stretch of games that Thibs and the coaches and the players make it a priority to start to counteract their default of ISO play in that fourth quarter, where they start getting tight, they start trying to wear down the clock, but then they lose their flow. They lose their cohesion as an offense. They have to keep moving. I get the idea. You know, you want to kind of wear the clock down some, but as you heard Clyde talk about it, you don't want to overdo it. You can't take yourself out of your own rhythm. And I think that's what we do too often. And then we become overly reliant on Brunson and Randall. And you saw Randall, he made a blunder. I think he dribbled the ball off his foot and it went into the corner. He tried to save it and he ended up passing it to, I think it was Kuzma or somebody on the Wizards, and then they ended up getting a bucket. So there's a lot of that happening. But this, as Lex the Destroyer, great to see you, brother. Best mod around. Out fucking standing. Absolutely out fucking standing. Loved it. All right, let's get back to this here. So, but I want you guys to look at. Tonight was an off night for Grimes. In fact, if Grimes delivers his regular type of game, this game is we win this going away easily. But tonight, Grimes just didn't quite have it. 2 of 10, 1 of 7 overall. 4 boards, 2 assists, but he played some nice defense, even though Kuzma did scorch us for 40 points, but I think that was mostly on RJ, but definitely he did cook Grimes for some periods as well. He was just on. Man, when that guy does those turnaround shots, fadeaways, they're impossible to defend, really. You have to be so up on him, and with the rule changes now, if you're too close on him and you don't give him his space, it's a foul call. So it's a tough thing to defend. He's become a problem, Kuzma. I know some Knicks fans have been asking, what about Kuzma? What about Kuzma for us? It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm not sure, because basically it would mean putting Grimes to the bench and RJ slides to the 2, which I'm not averse to because I believe that RJ's real natural position is the shooting guard position. But I'm not that convinced about Kuzma's defense. So, gonna have to look into it. But if Kuzma's willing to come off the bench and be that partner, that kind of like Obi was doing for a while. But Obi has disappeared now. Look, he's 12 minutes, 0 for 2. He missed both of his 3-point shots. He did have 1 dime, but didn't have much of an impact in this game offensively. Defensively, he did a decent job. I saw him good positioning. But again, look, we have a 9-man rotation, but we have one guy, McBride, only plays 8 minutes. In the end, as we go forward, I mean by the playoff time, that's going to come back and hurt us. We need to have Deuce up there 14, 15 minutes and not be so reliant on Brunson to bail us out. Quickley played 32 minutes. In my opinion, if it weren't for the incredible final stat line of Brunson, Quickley would have been my star of this game because of the way he impacted the play on this game. And if you didn't tune in earlier, I called it out. When he was subbed in, he completely changed the tonality of this team. And he put them on a he reminded them of how they should play, because they looked kind of lost and disjointed. Guys were missing shots. It was a total brick fest in the beginning. And immediately Quickley comes in, like I said before, first 3 seconds, gets a rebound. He turns it into a fast break by himself, finishes, and I think he even got the and one. Fantastic. 18 points for Immanuel, 7 of 13 overall, 4 rebounds, and 2 dimes for him. The Knicks shot terribly from the 3-point line. We shot 27.6%. We didn't shoot that great overall. We only shot 44.6%. You see the plus minus tells a really interesting story. Randall, plus 12. Brunson, plus 19. Grimes, plus 12. Isaiah Hartenstein, plus 12. And Quickley, a plus 3. McBride, a minus 15. Obi, a minus 8. RJ, a minus 8, because he was with that second unit when they were struggling in that second quarter, or towards the end of the first quarter, in the beginning of the second quarter. That second unit was struggling, wasn't making much happen. When he came back into the game, something was off with that unit. They need more time together. And then, as you can see, Robinson only finished with a minus 7, but he fouled out. RJ was subbed out in that fourth quarter late when he picked up the 5th foul, and I saw a bunch of people on Twitter talking, oh, he's getting benched for IQ, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't getting benched for IQ. It was because he got into foul trouble, and then when Mitch fouled out, RJ came back in, and that's why Thibs did that. Because he knew he can't have both guys fouling out at the same time. So he only one at a time, and he went with Robinson at the time, and then he came back in with some small ball. That's how we closed the game at the end, with small ball. Again, we're Sims. Sims could have helped. You know, we got a nice game out of Hartenstein. Why couldn't we get like a nice 6 minutes out of Sims? You know, his athleticism, his length could have been really productive against, you know, like an Hachimura, a Kuzma, a Porzingis, all those guys, all that length that Gaffer, all that length that the Wizards throw at us. Here we go. You can see they shot a little better from the three-point line than we did, 31%, but only 38.7% overall. And it was mostly because they were missing shots, but the defense was tight. These Knicks did clamp down, especially in the paint. They did not give up that much in the paint, which is beautiful. Kuzma, 40 points. Wow, outstanding. 4 of 10 from the three-point line, 14 of 27 overall, 7 boards, 7 dimes for Kyle Kuzma, who the Lakers should never have traded. Him. Corey Kispert is finally coming around. You can see his second season. He's become a tremendous spot-up shooter. 2 of 4 from the three-point line, 4 of 6 overall. And he can also drive and finish when he's able to beat his guy. 5 boards for him, 2 dimes, 13 points. Kristaps Porzingis, who he's longing. He's longing for the days of MSG. Those magic days at MSG. God, I remember that time. I was so hyped when he was on the Knicks. I thought the whole unicorn moniker that was begun by KD talking about Porzingis, and it's true, you know. And he's become a better player now, a better, more well-rounded player now. 35 points, though he only shot 6 of 19 overall, and that's a testament to the tight defense that Randall played on him. Randall played some really good defense on Kristaps. He really gave him a lot of trouble, and Kristaps sometimes drifted a little too close to the basket, so it allowed Mitch to come over and get some blocks. I think, how many blocks did Mitch have? Mitch had 3 blocks. Seemed like he had more, but I think those 3 blocks were all in the first half, maybe even in the first quarter. So it was the Knicks had a nice game plan to neutralize Kristaps, but not much to deal with Kuzma. All right, let's get to the next, the team stats. As you can see, the points in the paint, we destroyed them 50 to 28. So we had a plus 22 margin in points in the paint. We outdid a team in fast break points. It's been a while since that happened. 19 to 9. Beautiful. Rebounds, of course, we usually lead teams in rebounds, 54 to 50. The free throw shooting, once again, was shaky. We finished with 71%, but for at one point, we had only hitting 2 out of 3 overall, 66%. We finally hit our free throws in the end, and Brunson hit 2 clutch free throws towards the end, so I'm glad he's finally working through that issue. Yeah, because that was difficult to deal with. when he's missing free throws, it's rough. All right, I tweeted this out, but before I get to that, let me shout out the chat here. We got Gideon Amankwa. I think that's how you say it. Team is surprisingly red hot right now. Yes. Well, we're at a full squad right now. You know, we're mostly healthy, which a lot of teams aren't. I know we were without a few games without Brunson, a few games without RJ, and it's possible that those games that they missed, actually are going to help us in the long term, because they gave time for IQ to rediscover himself. We had seen him defensively. He's been that guy all year. But offensively, when he finally got the ball in his hands and he was running the offense and he delivered, now he's grown. He's advanced. What else did we see? We saw a team, we saw Randall just went crazy. He probably should have been player of the month in December. And now he's gotten himself back into a legitimate all-star argument. So that also woke him up and made him more focused, which is really the key for Randall's success. Let's see what else we got here. Leighton Griffith says, shout out to you, brother. We like our players, just the coach playing the players too much minutes. It is. I mean, it's going to continue to be an issue. All right. Before we get to this, need a sip of my beer. Shout out the Knicks won. Knicks won tonight. 24-19. We're 5 games over 500. Wow. And we play the Pistons on Sunday. So there's a good chance we get that we go 6 games over 500. And then I think the next day we play the Raptors again. So for some reason we play the Raptors on the second game of a back-to-back again. So let's hope that this time we take care of business. Let's hope we take care of business this time. Getting some funny texts here. All right, let's get into this, guys. Oh wait, here we go. So I tweeted this. It was last night, actually. It's just gotten a lot of activity. If you didn't see this, definitely go look it up and check out all the comments. I'd love to hear your feelings on it. I tweeted this out. Suddenly it dawned on me, reading all kind of what I like to do is I like to take look at the tone of what most people, like the general tone of what the fan base and even the writers and the pundits are talking or are expressing about the Knicks. And it seemed to me that we should be a lot happier as a fan base in general about where we are. Now, this was tweeted last night, so now we're 24-19. So I said, why aren't we happier about our Knicks after 42 games? 6th seed, 23-19, now 24-19. But with key contributions from our young core, unlike 2 years ago, or last year even, so much, by this point. Remember we were clamoring. We're like, we want more minutes for Obi. We want more minutes for IQ. Why is Burke starting? Remember how frustrated we were? What's Taj doing in this game? Like that. Even though, I love Taj, but still, come on. Key free agent signing, Brunson, is a borderline all-star. Our moody leader, Randall, is again a legit all-star. RJ delivers 27 in his first game back and 17 now. So right there, he's averaging about 22 points already in the first couple games back. And IQ is a lock on defense. We should be ecstatic as fuck, no? Well, after reading almost all the comments and having some exchanges with people, it seems to me, there's a couple things. And my son said something that was interesting. He said he thought the streakiness of the Knicks makes it difficult for us to believe in a legit playoff push. And that made a lot of sense. And then when you look at the history of Thibs and the minutes allotment, we all kind of know. We've been through this before. We know he burns players out. We know that towards the end of the season, we don't have enough in the tank. We even see it in games. That's why we collapse in fourth quarters often. So there's a lot of concerns and worries. But at the end of the day, we are the 6th seed. We should rejoice in this. I'm going to allow myself to rejoice in this. That's what I'm saying. I'm not looking at, the tanking discussion is way over. There's no need for that. I'm not even thinking about firing Thibs anymore because it's irrelevant. There's no way that's going to happen. Is he the guy ongoing in the future? That's for another discussion. We've already had that discussion many times here in the Knicks-Verse, but at this point, no. We have crossed the lexicon. We are now in the legit playoff tier. I heard a podcast today with Sam Vicenci. I think that's how you say his name. What's his name? Sam Vicenci, Game Theory, and he could not rave more strongly about what the Knicks are doing right now. He is ecstatic. They love Immanuel Quickley. I forgot the other guy's name out on there. You guys should check out that stretch. It's about 10, 15 minutes of discussion in this podcast called Game Theory with Sam Vicenci. Fantastic, and I agree with everything they said. And it made me realize that sometimes, here's the thing. Sometimes it's really difficult for people to acknowledge that you've changed. The people that are most important in your life to acknowledge that you've changed, because they see they know you have so much history with you. They don't see it. But if it's somebody that you hadn't seen for a year and you run into each other and then suddenly you start hanging out again, they're like, hey, you know what? You seem different nowadays. But meanwhile, someone who's been with you this whole time, they don't necessarily notice it. I think that's kind of happened to us as Knicks fans. I mean, I follow this team. I'm devoted to it. I love basketball. I love the Knicks, and I'm sure you guys kind of are in a similar boat as me. It's hard for us to acknowledge that this team is actually a good team now, because we see the issues. This team's lost 5 25-point leads in the past 2 seasons. That's crazy. We've had some devastating losses. Thibs probably should have been fired after that Dallas loss. So much could have happened. And yet, here we are right now. Here we are. The Knicks are 14-6 in the past 20-something games? Oh, let me pull this up. I had this here before. We are... Don't you hate when you can't find stuff? Anyway, I think we're 14-6 in the past 20 games. That's outstanding. Now the question becomes, can Leon add 2 pieces, 2 players to this puzzle, 2 pieces to this puzzle right now that won't disrupt what we have, but will complete the picture? Where if we go up against the Bucks and they don't have Middleton, because, Middleton gets hurt a lot. Who knows what's going to happen? But let's say a compromised Bucks team in that first round of the playoffs. What can we acquire to help us maybe steal that playoff series? That's what I'm starting to think about now. Or let's say it's the Cavs we end up playing. Or let's say we get into the 5th seed. And then we're playing, who do we play then? Well, we'll worry about that later. But that's what I'm thinking about. So I want to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments. What 2 pieces could the Knicks add to this team? And I'm talking about specific players that wouldn't disrupt the rotation per se. There would be additions to this. Now, it could be, you could tell me, hey, we only need 1. Because you believe Obi is going to wake up and come back around and become the Obi that we saw in the first 10 games of this season and the last 25 games of last season, which I could be talked into that. I could see that happening. But we still need somebody. I see OG Anunoby. Yeah, there's some trade scenarios being floated around out there. I believe that Fred Katz put something out earlier today, and this is what he said. To Knicks, Anunoby, Kem Birch. To Raptors, Obi Toppin, Evan Fournier. And better of the Knicks or Mavericks 2023 first-round picks, the 2024 Pistons second-round pick, and the 2025 Knicks first-round pick. He writes, the Knicks view, I'm intrigued, though I imagine the Knicks would grapple about the 2025 pick. This team still plans on star hunting. And if there's one lesson to be learned from the Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, and DeJounte Murray trades from the past summer, it's they'll need unprotected picks to get one done. That said, such is the price of going after an excellent two-way wing, and I could see Anunoby fitting in wonderfully to this roster. I think there could be something here. My greatest wonder is whether Toronto would do this right now, considering I think they acquire similar value in the summer. That's from Fred Katz of The Athletic. Now, interestingly, the three trades he mentions, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, and DeJounte Murray, only one of three have succeeded. Only one of three of those trades have succeeded this season. So bear that in mind. Watanabe, Achimura, like a guy like Achimura, that's an interesting piece. But what would it cost? Interesting, because I want to hear your thoughts, and then I'll dive in and do some research on it and see what and put out a video, like a speculative video about what might be the right path for the Knicks to go. D Nice says Knicks fans have PTSD. Exactly, we do. We've been burned so many times. It's hard for us to hope, because we've been crushed. It's almost like like if you ever had anyone cheat on you, it's like now you have to like, oh well, can I trust that person ever again? It's like that, It's D-Nice says I want Dylan Brooks. I want Dylan Brooks too, but he's not getting traded right now. There's no way the Grizzlies. Maybe he's going to be a free agent. He's going to be a free agent in the summer. That's somebody for us to look at. We talked about that in the previous pregame show from the other day about the trades, so you should check that one out for sure. Ugly wins are beautiful, Francisco Carrillo says. Absolutely. I'll take this ugly win any day. It wasn't even necessarily that ugly tonight. The first quarter was ugly. I would say the first quarter was ugly. It was pretty much of a brick fest. But I liked the way that we really took control of this game. We set the tone of this game, even though the Wizards kept trying to break through. Now, again, they don't have, Bradley Beal. They're missing some pieces. But tonight they had Gafford and Porzingis, who weren't even supposed to. They were questionable at first, but they ended up playing. All right, we got over 120 in the chat. That's awesome. Great turnout, guys. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And share this video. Share it to whoever. We need to get this out there. I want to grow the Knicks-Verse fan base. I want people to hear what we have to say here. I want people to understand that you can love your team and be hard on your team at the same time. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to just be you can't be a fair weather fan also. It's all part of the process. And this is what being a real fan is about. You stick with them when it's bad, and then you rejoice when things turn good. But right now, we're in that period of time because we had that 8-game win streak, and then it got followed up by a 5-game losing streak, and then we had a 3-game win streak, I think, or something like that. So it's like, it's so hot and cold. It's such a roller coaster ride with this team. We're not quite sure how much emotion we want to invest in them at the moment. But I think we're past that. Like I said, we've crossed that threshold. I think we can all embrace the success of this team. If something happens and it collapses and it goes a whole other way, then that's what happens. But I'm not going to sit here and be moody, and look for the negatives constantly. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to waste my time doing that. I only do that when I see it. It's obvious and things could change and become a better team. And I'll still point out stuff like that. Buzzer Beater says, I want Dylan Brooks to wash my car. That's awesome. All right, have I missed anything big here? Let's see. Defense. KP only had 4 rebounds. Yeah, I know. It's a head scratcher. You know what? Let's see this again. Look at this. Oh. Woo! I love spacing. This is what spacing's about. This is the benefits of space. Look, Hartenstein was drifting back. Then when he saw Quick cutting to the basket, he started drifting in, mostly looking for the rebound. But then Quick delivered the beautiful dime to him. Beautiful. God, I love that kind of play. It's very possible that the Knicks have a very special player in Immanuel Quickley. He just has to get more consistent with his three-point shooting. That's really the key. Reese. Sorry, Rolex. I have not missed your comment. I just, doing my thing. Let's see. What did I see? Oh, you want Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon. Now, that's an interesting... Okay, Reese Rolex says, I can't put comments on this stream that I have right now, but I'll read them out. I want Aaron Gordon for Cam and Fournier. I'll tell you, he needs to be rescued. If you guys saw that interview with him after the game against the Knicks, actually. They said, are things getting better? He's like, no. He would be interesting. He definitely would be a nice piece to come off the bench. I could see him playing well with IQ. Okay, I like that one. I'm gonna write that one down. I like Eric Gordon. I always liked him in general. He would be an interesting piece because I don't think he would cost that much necessarily. Wonder what he would cost. That's a good one. That's a nice addition. That's exactly what kind of piece I'm talking about. Gives you some scoring. He's a little, he's definitely got his the tread on his tires have worn down some, but he can give you some decent defense. Yeah, he's 30. We're just talking about for this season. We're not talking about ongoing for the future, like a piece like that. Like an OG Anunoby would be a piece that you get, he's here for the next 5 years. That's the hope. Gary Trent Jr., another interesting name. Again, he could be pricey. Let's see. What would it cost to get a Gary Trent Jr.? It would probably cost us Obi for sure. And well, the money would be an issue. So we'd have to include maybe also Fournier. I don't know if Toronto would want, but Toronto could use someone like Fournier who can shoot the three. Let's see. So that would be interesting. Fournier, Obi, and they'd have to put in some. Maybe they would put in a Kem Birch in there because you need something back. Or maybe we get a Boucher. Maybe we get Boucher. So Boucher and Trent trying to match the money, and then figure something out with picks. That's an interesting one. Lex the Destroyer says, please no overpaid, injury-prone old players. I get you, but we're only talking about for the final 30 games of this season, and hopefully to give us like some added bench strength, some gravitas there to get us through a first round of playoffs. I want to get into that second round, or at least at the bare minimum, I want us to at least have a legit shot of winning that first round, not the gentleman's sweep. The 4-1 that we had against the Hawks last time when we were actually the home team. And then also to solidify our playoff run as well. Instead of just, struggling for the 6th seed, maybe we can eke ourselves up and get over the Sixers and get that 5th seed. It's no guarantee that the Sixers, this whole thing is going to work with them. Also, they're injury prone. You never know what could happen to Maxey or James Harden or Embiid in the next 40 games or so. That's the thing. You got to start thinking about that kind of stuff. That's one of the advantages that we have as the Knicks. We have a pretty healthy team. They're resilient, they're hardy, and that's a big plus. Let's see what else we got. We take Gordon. If we take Gordon, take back Eason. Oh, now that would be a nice big deal. I would definitely do. I would give up a first rounder to have Eason as well. Sorry. I didn't mean. Oh yeah, old ass man and a young piece. Yes, exactly. I like that. That Dr. O loves to hate. Dr. O loves to hate. The names are fantastic. Adrian Reality, good to see you, brother. I didn't see you earlier. No costly bums. Yeah, but again, there's someone that you just, at the end of the season, we just, get rid of them if they don't work out. Let's see, who else we got? Navpreet Singh, good to see you, man. Also, I was expecting more small ball because KP can hit threes, which forced Mitch out the paint where he's the most dominant. Randall should have been on KP. He was. Randall was on KP often. He was. And actually, that's what KP drifted back out because he was trying to come down into the paint. And Randall played him tight, and then Mitch would come off on the weak side and just harass KP. I think he blocked two of KP's shots. So there was some of that. But then the Wizards adjust, and they put KP out on the wing, and he started launching. Let's see. Make a trade for Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes ain't going anywhere. He ain't going anywhere. He's a special talent, but he has to put in some work in the offseason. He didn't develop any of his tools or in the offseason. That Randall dunk was powerful. That Randall dunk was fierce. I loved it. It was beautiful. It was. I loved it. I loved the emotion. I loved everything that came with it. It was a fantastic dunk. Kuzma wants to get paid. Yes, he does, and he will. He will. Someone will step up and give him money. He's not. I don't think he's the right kind of guy for us personally. That's just at the moment. Like, I may be convinced of otherwise. NCEX NYC says Jericho Sims coming to a milk carton near you. I know. Where was he today? Where was he? Oh, the Mets signed Pete Alonso, agreed a 1-year deal, $14.5 million. All right. Let's look ahead. Let me look at the schedule coming up here for the Knicks. Let's see here. We got the Pistons on Sunday, and then the Raptors on Monday, but it's at MSG, so that's good. And then we play the Wizards again on Wednesday. So we have 3 games coming up. We have 3 games in a 4-game stretch coming up. If we won 2 out of 3 of those, we'd be 26-20. If we swept all 3 of those, be 27-19. Outstanding. Then we go down to Atlanta, January 20th, against the Hawks there. A week from today. A week from tonight, we're going to be in Atlanta. And then we play the Raptors again. So we play the Raptors 3 times in a 10-day span. And this time we're going back to Toronto. So Sunday, the 22nd, is against Atlanta, against the Raptors. Then we have we have 3 big games in a row to close out the month. The last game is against the Lakers on the January 31st. I wouldn't consider that a big game, considering the Lakers the way they're playing. But it's always, LeBron's always a show. So let's say we have 4 after we play the Raptors for the 3rd time in a 10-game stretch. We then play. This is how we can close out January. Cavaliers at MSG. So Donovan Mitchell coming to MSG. The Knicks go up to Boston to play the Celtics. That game's going to be on TNT. That's Thursday, the 26th of January. Then the Knicks play the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets, Saturday, January 28th. And I'm not sure KD is going to be back by then. And then we close out the year against the Lakers, January 31st. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Knicks could potentially win 7 of the next 9 games. If we win 7 of the next 9 games, the Knicks will be 31-21. They'll be 10 games over 500 for the first time since the end of the 2020-21 season, when we finished 41-31. Let's see. Let's see what kind of team we got. I think it's possible. Honestly, I think it's possible. Woo! That's exciting to think about. That is exciting. Let's go. Look at that. And then a lot of it's because of this guy. Look at that. 35 points per game, 6 dimes, 6 boards, 53% from the field goal percentage. Oh, man. And also, let me get this other stat over here. Let's see here. In terms of, just so you know, we have 3 guys all shooting over 40% from the three-point line since December 4th. 3 guys. And the 4th guy is Quentin Grimes, who's shooting 39%. So we have 4 guys shooting 39% or better from the three-point line since December 4th, 2022, that Dallas game. After that Dallas game. So we're finally connecting, even though tonight wasn't a great three-point shooting night for us. But we need some three-point shooting. We need to start connecting. Grimes struggled tonight, and it makes it tough for us when he struggles. Let's see. Francisco Carrillo says, if Deuce plays and doesn't score and we win, that's good. Yes, because the defense he provides is great. Samuel Pagan, good to see you, brother. So happy that we didn't get Donovan Mitchell because we would have had to give up the farm to get him. Exactly. That's exactly right. Exactly right. We probably would not even be a 5. We probably would be, well, be tricky. I wonder what record we would be. For all we know, we could be like the Hawks, 20-22. Hawks traded for DeJounte Murray, all-star, tremendous talent. Look at them; they're 20-22. You know, we could maybe we'll be a 500 team. Right now, we are 5 games over 500 without him because of our depth. Let's see what else we got here. Some other stuff. Yeah, we are good. We are good. Let's enjoy it. We've been burned. We've been burned as a fan base. You know, it's been a long time. It's been a long, long time since we were actually seriously like a bona fide good team. Definitely the 2020-21 year was for sure that. But then our hearts were crushed last season, the following season. But I think we're back on track. Imagine if we just removed last season. And this was the follow-up season to that 4th seed year. The fan base would be ecstatic, losing their minds with excitement. So I think last season's result and the uncertainty with Randall, we don't know if he's going to keep it together over a long haul. It makes everything gives us a lot of uncertainty. But there are a lot of things that we can be pretty certain of now. Number 1 is this guy. Number 2 is RJ. We can be certain of RJ. It's obvious that his rocky start to this season was because of his odd offseason that he had. He was in limbo. He was waiting for his contract or waiting to be traded, and he couldn't play any full court games at all during the summer because of fear of getting injured. So he wasn't in game shape when the season began. And he got off, and he always gets off to a slow start anyway. So you compound that with being not in full game shape. So, but the minute he started shaking those cobwebs off, look what he's done. He's shooting like 46% from the field in the past 20 games or so, and like 42% from the three-point line. Outstanding. So he's for real. He's for real. Whether he is that bona fide perennial all-star is still a wait and see. But I think he is going to get back in that conversation. He's going to end up averaging over 20 points per game this year. So we're going to have 3 guys over 20 points. Outstanding. Immanuel Quickley. He's absolutely in the conversation now for 6th man of the year. He's in that conversation right now, especially if he keeps contributing like this and we keep winning. What else do we have? We got Randall, who's completely... he's better than he was when he was the All-NBA Randall. He's a better player now. He makes better decisions. He's a better defender now. If you remove those first 15 games of this season, better defender. The shooting is right there. I mean, I'm loving his game of late. What else? Thibs has finally embraced the youth of this team. He's starting Grimes over Fournier, which you guys all know. I at the end of last season, one of the main things I said, it's pretty obvious that next year, if Fournier is still here, he should not start. Quentin Grimes should be the starting shooting guard on this team, especially if we had signed a Jalen Brunson, and then we did. So we needed him for his defense. So Thibs embracing Grimes. He's finally doing some of the things that we've been wanting as a fan base. Even though he did it kicking and screaming, he's finally doing it. Oh, man. Well, this has been... AJ Griffin. I love AJ Griffin. But Hawks are not trading him. There's no way. What about Zach LaVine? The price will be too high for him. And I tell you, he's not that guy who changes your franchise. He just immediately catapults you into another tier. Those are bigger trades and something to look at in the off season. I'm talking about right now. I don't want to disrupt what's happening here. I know that I said a while ago I'd be like, let's trade Randall. Let's do it. Let's trade high while his value is high. I'm totally reversing my opinion on that because I like the role that he has accepted for himself on this team. All he has to do is stay locked in that role. And look what he had tonight. What do you have? 18 rebounds tonight? Right? 16 rebounds tonight. He was a beast on the boards tonight. So I'm loving that. I see Grimes. I know tonight he struggled offensively, but I see him really blooming. He's going to end up blooming pretty soon. He kind of recesses a little bit too much. Quickly, please, you can't pass up open three-point shots. He passed up an open one towards the end of the game there. And then he ended up giving the ball to Grimes, who had to just throw a heave up to beat the shot clock. That's not right. Shoot it. When you're open, shoot it. Okay. All right. I'm running out of gas. Been talking for an hour straight. Hopefully, I get it set up and get some phone calls because I'd love for you guys to call in and stuff. That'd be great, especially on these Friday night lives that we're going to do. I'm going to try to do more Friday night lives. Whenever Knicks have a Friday night game, I'm going to try to do some more live shows. Gary Payton Jr. and Harrison Barnes. Ooh, love those two. Love those two. Wonder what that would cost. Interesting. That's R&B Killer. Put that comment in there. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this. Man, I appreciate the support. I don't know if you've heard, but we've gotten over 1 million views on the channel in total. I'm humbled by all the love and support that everyone gives and the input. Please keep dropping your comments. I love that. And if you guys come up with any other ideas for certain players that we might target, there was like a little bit of like a Josh Hart, maybe, to complete the Villanova squad there, So that might be something interesting. Let's see, 6th seed. Which team can we beat in a series that's ahead of us? I think we could beat the Cavs. I think we could beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they're the team we could beat. I don't think we can beat a full Bucks squad. No, we can't beat a full Bucks squad. Interestingly enough, I think we match up well with the Celtics. I know this year it hasn't looked like that, but I think we match up well with them. So, that's an interesting one to see. Robbie. I want someone with a little more offensive punch. And that, gives us defense for sure. All right, I like that though. All right, guys. Again, subscribe, share the video, hit the thumbs up button for me, and drop your comments if you think of anything later. On Sunday, I will be dropping the recap kind of late because it's football playoffs and all that stuff, and I'll be out and about. I might be dropping some short videos during the game from where I'm watching it, so stay tuned for those. And ball, love ball. What about Mo Bamba? What do you guys think about Mo Bamba? That's the kind of guy I'm thinking about. Gives you defense, gives you length, can shoot the three. Interesting. Ball has got outstanding skills. There's no way that team is giving him up. All right, let's hope we get this lock this game down on Sunday. And then we got Monday against the Raptors on Martin Luther King Day, MLK Day. It'd be beautiful to get that win as well. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this. You guys are awesome, the best fan base around. There's no doubt whatsoever. I have totally enjoyed this live stream. I wish I did them more often. I wish I had the time to do them more often. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. I'll try it. And I will see you around.